The Oklahoma teachers strike has canceled class for at least 230,000 students. It's in its second day as of April 3rd. This is pretty significant. This is just an article that was in USA Today that just sort of gives some basic points here. And we've talked about this West Virginia teacher strike and why this is significant. First of all, teachers and education in this country are completely shunned because we spend all of our money on military and private prisons and stuff like that. And it's happening in the red states, West Virginia, Kentucky, Arizona, and Oklahoma, because people need better wages. I'm telling you, a third party needs to be workers, need to be about workers' rights, because this is significant. And this is why the establishment was so threatened by a guy like Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders would have won in so many red states, because he would have been like, I'm helping you with jobs, I'm helping your benefits. You know, people that get good wages and good benefits and good retirement and stuff like that makes for a better society. Everybody living job to job and having to drive Uber on the side or whatever, that's not good. That's not good for society. So they won raises last week, averaging 16% or $6,100, the first pay increase for some educators in a decade in Oklahoma, under legislation signed by Governor Mary Fallin. But that wasn't enough to prevent a walkout Monday that brought about 20,000 teachers, students, and other supporters to the Oklahoma Capitol. The rallies closed the 10 largest school districts in the state with at least 234,000 students combined. If I didn't have a second job, I'd be on food stamps, said Ray Lovelace, a third grade teacher and single mother in Northwest Oklahoma who works 30 to 40 hours a week at a second job. Teachers shouldn't have to get a second job. If we had a good education system, oh, but we have to drop bombs and rocket and blow people up and have people like Brian Williams go, oh, look at those beautiful rockets. That could be financing a good education for everybody, but oh, we're going to go kill poor people in the Middle East. It's a powerful thing to see, and it's important. And this is the thing that Hedges has talked about, that I've talked about. It needs peaceful protest. It needs resistance. And I've said this about the kids marching for gun control. You know, these marches on the weekends are nice, but if they don't make any real law, then shut it down. Shut it down. The governor, Mary Fallin, who signed the pay increase, that's good for her, but I just want to read between the lines here of one of the things she's talked about. She's a Republican. She warned Monday that the state budget was tight and there are other priorities besides education. Well, that's fair. You're a governor. You got a lot of things to concern. What are these? What are these issues, according to her? Quote, we must be responsible not to neglect the other areas in need in a state such as corrections and health and human services as we continue to consider additional education funding measures. Hey, Governor, better education means less crime. Oh, wait, you profit from private prisons. Oh, shit, there you go. That's right, that's right. So we need criminals, so a shitty education system feeds the private prison industry. That's right, there you go. Good point, good point. So if we have really well-paid teachers that don't have to work a second job, and we have money on textbooks and good stuff for students and new ways of teaching and getting kids engaged and giving them opportunities and hope, then the private prison industry doesn't make money. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we need jobs in the private prison industry. Good point. Thanks, Mary. Thanks for keeping us, keeping everybody in line. Way to go. Oklahoma's average teacher salary of $45,000 ranked 49th among states and the District of Columbia before the raises. According to the National Education Association, the state also ranked 47th in public school revenue per student, according to the teachers union. You can't put money into students when you've got to profit from private prisons. Do you see how that works? Sorry, kids. We need to create criminals. When the schools closed, parents scrambled to place their children elsewhere. The state's largest district, Oklahoma City Public Schools, is providing free meals at more than 100 locations for anyone 18 and younger. Churches and organizations such as the Boys and Girls Club and Girl Scouts are offering daycare and camp-style accommodations. Interesting, interesting, interesting. There's a decent graph here that shows the average yearly salaries of U.S. public teachers. So let me read you this. Kentucky schools were closed Monday after teachers and other school workers went on strike, with thousands flooding the state capitol chanting "Stop the war on public education." Kentucky lawmakers are debating a new state budget with higher spending on public education, paid by the 6% sales tax on services that were previously tax-free. Bluegrass state educators are upset because the legislature approved a pension overhaul last week that cut benefits for new teachers. So I did a video about the American pathology. There's part of the pathology. No one goes, well, this is awful, cutting pensions. This is how we're going to treat the elderly in this country. A demographic, if you're not in it, you're going to be in it. The only way you won't be part of the elderly is if you die before you're, 60. So shouldn't we all as a society go, yes, we need good pensions. We need to take care of our elderly because we're all going to be there. Nope, fuck them. Cut the budget. More bombers, man. Drone strike them. Drone strike them up. Private prisons. More pipelines. Fuck the kids. Fuck the elderly, because the greedy cocksuckers in the 1%, they need money. Sorry, gang. That's how this works. But again, it's good to see this. This is what it's going to take. Sustained strikes and walkouts and people just being ready to just say no. You force them to make a change. You force them into it. Nonviolent protests. Striking is what it's going to need. And it's why good, thriving unions are a good thing. There's plenty of corrupt unions. Corruption can happen anywhere. Just because there have been corrupt unions doesn't mean we should eliminate unions. Eliminate corruption. Have a society where, where decency is rewarded. That scared the crap out of me. Some pop-up ad. But when we have a society where decent behavior is rewarded, then we'll have less immoral behavior. But we're an immoral country where greed and selfishness and just do it for, YOLO or whatever. Make that money, however you got to make it. That's the attitude in America from the top down. So we have a sickness in America. And that's why people are fed up and doing something about it. So thank you for watching the show, and thank you for supporting this. And anybody out there that's on a picket line, I appreciate you doing that, because you're helping everybody. You're doing something that's not just good for you and your profession and your union. It's good for your community, and it's good for the whole country to see this. So I applaud you, and thanks again.